I'm going to share with you results from a survey I administered to students in my face-to-face classes to determine their perceived value of the required work. The survey had one STEM for each of the 5 assignments, 1 for the study habit goal, and 6 for research presentations they do in my class. I created the survey in D2L, and though I usually have a 5-point scale, I chose 10 in this case to deliberately create more spread. And I experimented with what I call a tandem survey. Together with the students in the computer lab, I used this PowerPoint while the class had the active survey in front of them. We then addressed the questions one by one in unison. For instance, I wanted to ensure students were on the same page in what was implied by value. Did you find the work important, useful, meaningful, or helpful? Each of these terms suggests worth or value. For anything students failed to attempt, they selected not applicable. Then we covered each of the assignments in turn. Using the first assignment as an example, I refreshed their memory by going over each of the items from the worksheet, what they learned about academic emails, help desk, notifications, pulse, and so on. This led to the first question on their D2L survey, at which point students input their response. After the assignments, I walked them through the study habit discussion topic, and finally, the research project. And to obtain feedback beyond what the numbers could provide, I concluded with an open-ended question that focused solely on the perceptions of the material covered in the survey. Broadly categorizing, I'd consider 1 through 3 as perceived low value, 4 through 6 as moderate, 7 through 9 as high, and 10 as superlative, a class in itself. I then averaged the aggregate, which in this case yielded 8.6 out of 10. And I also found it helpful to note the proportion of 10s. For this assignment, half the class selected the highest value. A high overall score here, and 2/3 of the class gave it top value. I then rank ordered the results, and as you can see, discussion was lowest on the totem pole. Not sure how to interpret this. Keep in mind this was a face-to-face class. Student had adequate social interaction, so discussions might be perceived with higher value in an online class. Although the lone negative input from the open-ended question read, "The only thing I do not like is replying to other students in the discussion." In a follow-up class discussion, the general consensus was the first reply wasn't too bad, but having to do it a second time, they didn't feel they did it authentically or honestly. They're just doing the second one because it was required. Perhaps this is something that may engender department discussion, although probably not through post and replies.